was Steve's feedback like? What was there? Anything in particular?
So what he was saying was, he said, mate, I wasn't using the track enough.
Yep.
And he said, try and brake in a straight line.
Yes.
And just not brake into the corners. So do your braking before the corner, slow in, fast out.
Yep.
And try and be straight on the way out.
Yep. Yep.
And basically, and then I suppose as a result of being a passenger with him, I just realised how much more the tyres have gone.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely.
So I've got M mode on, right, which is basically, it's not completely off, it's in the middle.
Cool.
Right?
Yeah. M mode's fine. Yeah. All good. Ready when you are, James.
That's great.
Perfect. So basically, you know, usual sort of process. When you get that there, all that I say to anyone that I jump in with, you know, just take the first lap to build back into it again.
Yep.
You know, let everything warm up and get to a good working temperature, and then I won't say too much for your first lap or so, because obviously it's a bit easy for you to concentrate solely on. Looks like Sam's gone, so all that we'll do, James, just take it nice and easy as we make our way out, just in case anyone's down the straight, simply because we can't see over the concrete wall. But basically, so that I'm not talking to you, and that's one more thing that you've got to think about. Do the first lap or so, just as you have been today. If there's anything that I feel, you know, I need to sort of point out or mention, I will. But I'll try and just keep it to a minimum, and then we'll just do a cool down lap, talk about a few things, then you can have a second run through if you want.
Okay. Alright, so we just let everything warm up?
Yeah, all good. I mean, you can still push the car, of course, you know, that it's going to heat up a little bit quicker by doing that, working the tyres and the brakes, but just obviously not trying to go at 10 tenths as such.
Yeah, sure.
throttle out towards the ripple strip on your left. So it's all about using all the road. Exactly the same as tonight. You know, still going from one side to the other. Just remember how much weight you've got to move through that corner. Easy to the right-hander. Just easy brake pressure. Use all the road out to the left. Harder on the brakes. Wait for your turn in. Need a turn. Throttle out to your left. Use all the road. All good. Nice and easy. I'd probably just use third gear for now as your lowest gear. Have a light brake, getting it turned in. Minute throttle. You want to kick to the left at best. Have a light brake, getting it turned in. Throttle out. Use all the road. Try and get that apex next time. Bit of a brake, get it turned in. Throttle out to the corner. Out to the left. Even here, just have a light brake to get the car turned, then on the throttle. Hard on the brakes. Brake all the way in. Ease out of the brakes as you turn in. Throttle out. Still just got to try and use a little bit more road on the entry to that corner, just turning a bit too tight. Have a light brake, getting it turned in. Throttle out. Use all the road. See how you caught it there? That's the reason why I wanted to step out, because you still had a good 2 car widths on the left-hand side. Hard on the brakes. Slow it down, slow it down. Turn it in. Throttle out to your left-hand side. Use all the road. Squeeze on the throttle. There you go. Hard on the brakes now. Hard on the brakes. Waiting for your turn in. Ease out for the brakes. Throttle out to the left. Still try and get those apex cones. In the centres. Have a light brake. Getting it turned in. Squeeze on the throttle. Same here. Have a light brake. Getting the car turned in. Squeeze on the throttle. Use all the road. Light brake down the hill. Getting it turned. Throttle out to your left. Same again. Have a light brake. Turn the car in. Squeeze on the throttle. That's it. All the way down the hill. And then hard on the brakes. Hard on the brakes. Wait for your turn in. Ease out of the brakes as you turn in. Remember the apex. Ran a bit wide. Didn't quite get a turn into the apex. Squeeze on the throttle. That should turn the car in. Throttle out to your left.
That was exciting.
There was a little bit. Then hard on the brakes. Maybe this lap, James, just roll right off the roll right out of the throttle. We'll just take it easy. We can give the car a bit of a cool down lap. We can have a bit more of a chat then when the speeds are low, and you can obviously take in the information a bit easier.
Yeah, sure.
But the biggest thing is probably just trying to relax yourself. You know, just overdriving as such. You know, slow in, fast out. So even with your braking, you know, as you approach this corner, you know the line's really good. Turn in, you're grabbing the apex. Hard on the brakes. So basically, you're sort of easing into the brake pedal, whereas you want to be doing it in the reverse. Reasonably firm initially, wash off a lot of speed, so that when you get into the turning cone up to the left here, you're easing out of the brakes as you start to turn the car in, whereas you're basically having a second dip, which then is getting the car a little bit unsettled, cranking on a fair bit of lock because you've not used all the road, hence why the rear wants to slide out. So you're hard initially, into all the corners. Always, whenever the car's in a straight line, you're trying to, you know, especially in the heart of the braking corners, hard brake pressure initially, and then as you're getting closer to the corner, that's where you're starting to modulate out of the brake pedal. Okay. And obviously, when you have that second dip into the first set of the corners, you have a hard pressure, so all the weight's pitched on the front. Plus, you're exiting the corner mid-track, and the car just can't keep grip. You know, it can't keep up. Hence why the rear wants to keep sliding out.
So I'm going into corners a little bit fast.
A little bit fast, yeah, 100%. Not so much the first and second corner. You're just not using enough brake pressure there. Your brake point's not too bad. You're just not washing the speed off early enough. Into here, you're probably a little bit ambitious. Sometimes coming in a bit too late. Hence why you'll turn in, you'll miss the apex, and you run wide. You know, and you're on the ripple strip. Whereas you already want to have the turn made, and you're on the throttle trying to drive out of here. Nice wide arc through here, so you don't want to hold it too tight. That's when the car wanted to slide out on you there and get a little bit of wheel spin. We might just keep to the left up here, James. Just hand out the window just to let those cars go past. Point it to your right. Perfect. And then a little bit the same with this one, you know. As a rough guide, 100 metre mark, hard on the brakes. But remember to keep to the left-hand side. You can see where the cone is. Hard braking. As you start to turn, you're easing out of the brakes, turn the car to the apex, and then you're throttling out of the corner.
So alright, got it. So I'm not braking hard enough early enough.
Yep.
I'm
carrying in too much speed, cranking on a bit of lock because you're not using all the road.
It's getting a bit
and
exciting.
the car gets a bit unsettled. Yeah, exactly. It's all about, when we say smoothing fast out, you know, you want to be slower into the corner so that you can get on the throttle earlier.
So
Not sort of
I'm being a bit too aggressive.
100%. Little bit too aggressive, bit too ambitious. You know, trying to drive hard into the corner, but then you're losing time on the exit because where you should be getting off the brake, you're having a second dip on the brake as such to try and wash a bit more speed off. So the corner gets messy. You're still braking with a lot of pressure here. You turn in and then you exit in the mid-track. So your vision will help you out a lot with that as well, James. So keeping your eyesight up, and usually bike riders come to grips with it a lot quicker than people that haven't had the experience, because quick reflexes and your vision's so important on a bike because you've got so much to lose if you drop it. You know, so it's all about looking through the corners, you know. Have another go if you like, or you can come back in for lunch. Maybe have another crack for a lap or so.
Yeah, all right.
And then,
let's do
then we'll
that.
come back in and
Let's practice that now.
yeah, sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, turn
This
in.
one was okay.
Yeah, this corner's not too bad at all. Throttle all the way down, and then hard on the brakes. Wait for your turn, ease out of the brakes, turn to your apex, and then throttle out of the corner. Just squeeze it on. Obviously push it all the way down, back to your left, nice and easy. All good. Someone might have had a spin somewhere. Oh yeah, just onto the straight. So we're good to still go. He's got moving again. All good. Perfect. Way you go. All good. Reasonably hard initially. Start to ease out as you turn the car. Squeeze on the throttle. Use all the road as you exit. That's it. Squeeze it all down. Put the power all the way down. Perfect.
Yeah, smoother. You can feel it.
Yeah, definitely. That's it. Just let it roll to the apex if you want, and then hard on the brakes. Wash it all off. Okay, so that's good pressure. Ease out. Throttle out to your left. Use all the road. Squeeze on the throttle. All good, use all the road, keep it going. Do one more lap. Turn into the apex. Go down hard on the brakes. Slow it down. Start to ease out as you turn. Throttle out to the left. Use all the road. All good, squeeze it on. Perfect. Over to your right hand side. Squeeze on the throttle. Perfect. Patient with the throttle. Remember, nice and easy. Back to the left hand side. Have a light brake. Get in a turn. Remember all the road on the left. Perfect. Squeeze on the throttle. Hard on the brake. Slow it down. Slow it down. Slow it down. Ease out as you turn. We'll get a bit close to the apex next time. Squeeze on the throttle. All good. Yeah, cool. Oh, you can't see the timer where you are?
No, it's in my phone.
Oh, gotcha.
That felt, it just felt better, didn't it?
Yeah.
It felt
And look,
smoother.
effectively it's all about smooth inputs behind the wheel. You know, the biggest thing here, you don't want to be doing anything in angst or aggressive, you know, whether it's braking on the throttle, you know, you get a bit too much throttle, obviously the rear wants to step out, so it's all about squeezing the power on, smooth on the wheel, and same with your brake application. You know, you're hard braking a long way out of the corner, so that when you're getting to the point of turning in, you're just easing out of the brakes, and you don't want to have the tendency where you're treating the pedals as a light switch. It's obviously a bit of balance, a bit of feel in how you're operating the brake pedal, so that, you know, effectively you still want to brake all the way into the corner, but just by the time you get into the turning point, you just got a little, you know, a minimal amount of pressure. Still keeps weight over the front of the car, helps the car to steer. Obviously, as you roll out, you're squeezing on the throttle as you exit.
Yeah, this corner, I don't know whether it's the camber or what, but a couple of times I've gone,
have a bit of a slide.
Yeah, the fax wants to go. But geez, that's, no, thanks for the tips.
All good, James.
That's something to work on this afternoon, I think.
Yeah, definitely. You know, and essentially, you know, sometimes you get in the mindset where if you're really late under the brakes and everything's really busy and happening fast, you think you're going quick, but if you bring it back a step and brake a bit earlier, the most important thing, especially with a straight, as you look at how long the straight is being on the throttle.
Yeah.
So the sooner you can get on the throttle, the quicker your time's going to be, obviously. You're going to make up minimal time by braking earlier than the previous lap, but you're not going to get on the throttle anywhere near as quick or carry anywhere near as much big corner speed, because you're still hard on the brake pedal trying to wash off the speed.
So in a way, I mean, it's not that dissimilar to the bike, really, is it? But that's all about being smooth and having all the braking done beforehand.
Definitely not.
And just being almost, well, I suppose the only thing with a bike, you're almost neutral acceleration through the corner, aren't you? Whereas this, you're probably putting a bit on.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, bear in mind too, James, the amount of weight that you're trying to move in this as well. So, in such, it's nearly about being smoother again. Because the harder you try to push it, the more weight that you've got moving around, which is making the whole process awkward compared to a bike that might weigh 200 kilos as such, plus the rider. You've got a tonne and a half here, and you've got two people in the front seat as well. So it's all about just trying to balance the weight, and the smoother your inputs are, the easier the weight is to balance. You know, and that's all through braking and just carrying a bit of brake. You know,
because then the suspension's nicely settled. And everything's doing its job.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 100%. And it's all about weight transfer too. You know, as such, you move your body around on a bike, whereas here you're getting the weight transfer through the brake pedal. You know, same as a bike, everything goes forward and whatnot. But when you turn, you want to make sure you have, you know, a fair amount of weight on the front tyres, so nice and responsive.
Yeah.
But if you have too much brake, obviously you've got too much weight over the front, and by using a fair bit of steering, like when you turn into the corner, obviously there's nothing on the rear, and that's when it gets a bit light. You know, that's when the car wants to oversteer. So
It all gets a bit exciting.
that's right. Sometimes it can be fun.
I did the skid bang course. That was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, okay. You want your camera off, James?
Oh yeah, thanks mate. Yeah.
Just the top button again.
Top one, yeah.